Hey, ISACA doesn't say what percentage of students pass the CISM exam on their first attempt, but the consensus seems to be that it's around half. However, way over 90% of our students pass on their first attempt. If you'd like to be one of them, or just know more about what we do differently, I'll leave links to our self-paced masterclass and our intensive 4-day bootcamp so you can decide if you'd rather study with one of those and pretty well guarantee a pass on your first attempt. And by the way, the few students of ours who don't pass on their first attempt, we give additional individual personal support for each one of them at no cost. And so just about everyone passes on their second attempt.
Have you ever wondered how organizations really know who's inside their systems and what they're allowed to do once they're in? That's the foundation of identity and access management. This framework protects resources through systematic verification of identities and controlled assignment of permissions. Think of IAM as writing the guest list. Access control is the bouncer at the door, checking the IDs and deciding who gets in and under what conditions. Organizations implement access control through policies and technologies that evaluate requests against established criteria, ensuring users can only perform actions aligned with their roles and responsibilities. This systematic approach prevents unauthorized access while enabling legitimate users to accomplish their tasks efficiently. Ensuring that this is viable starts with identification. Identification represents the first step in the access control process, where users claim their identity to a system, typically through using usernames, email addresses, or employee IDs. This process establishes who someone claims to be without yet verifying that claim. Organizations must ensure identification methods are unique and consistent across systems to prevent confusion and maintain accountability. The identification phase sets the foundation for all subsequent security decisions, making proper identifier management critical for maintaining system integrity. The second step is authentication. It validates that users are who they claim to be by requiring proof of identity through various verification methods. This critical security process transforms an unverified claim into a trusted identity that systems can rely upon for access decisions. Passwords alone are yesterday's news. Today, real security means proving you are who you say you are with multiple checks that raise the bar for attackers and set the tone for every decision in the system. Before discussing other elements of access control, let's break down authentication factors. These are the different categories of evidence users provide to prove their identity to systems. Example of authentication factors can be knowledge, ownership, and characteristic. To start off, let's consider knowledge. Knowledge factors involve something the user knows, such as passwords, PIN, or answers to security questions. Secondly, ownership factors require something the user has, like smart cards, mobile devices, or hardware tokens. Thirdly, characteristic factors use something the user is, including biometric identifiers like fingerprints, facial recognition, or iris scans. When it comes to authentication more broadly, it's important to understand the difference between single-factor and multi-factor. Single-factor authentication relies on one verification method, while multi-factor authentication combines two or more different factor types. MFA dramatically improves security by requiring attackers to compromise multiple authentication methods rather than just one, making unauthorized access exponentially more difficult. Single-factor authentication is like a club with just a bouncer checking IDs. If you fool the bouncer, you're in. Multi-factor is like a club with a bouncer, a wristband check inside, and a fingerprint scanner at the VIP lounge. To sneak in, an imposter would have to beat every layer, which makes crashing the party a whole of a lot harder. Now that we've discussed authentication in depth, let's move on to authorization. Authorization determines what authenticated users are permitted to do within systems by evaluating their permissions against requested action. This process translates identity into specific access rights, ensuring users can only perform operations appropriate to their roles and responsibilities. Effective authorization requires granular control mechanisms that can adapt to changing business needs while maintaining security boundaries. Organizations must regularly review and update authorization policies to prevent privilege creep and ensure access remains aligned with current job functions. The last element of access control of our video is accounting. Accounting tracks and records all user activities within systems, creating an audit trail that supports security investigations, compliance requirements, and operational analysis. Think of accounting as a system's memory. It logs every move, so when something goes wrong, you've got receipts for the auditors, clues for the investigators, and insights to keep getting better. This continuous monitoring captures who did what, when, and from where something happened, providing the visibility needed to detect anomalies and investigate incidents. And that is an overview of identity and access management within Domain 3, covering the most critical concepts you need to know for the exam.
Hopefully this mind map helped you understand identity and access management, but it is just a small part of the CISM exam. If you want to have the best chance of passing it on your first attempt, we'd love to help you. There are links to our CISM Masterclass and Bootcamp in the description. We'll see you on one of those, or at least in the next mind map.